Hey everyone, happy Tuesday to you and yours. We're live here for another night of the Ragni Show. And I got my Delco brother in the house, Mike from Sunflower Dead. We're going to be talking to Mike in a second. They have tons and tons going on to talk about. But before we talk to Mike, I got to tell you about Bombers and Sleeves. They are the lifestyle apparel brand, and they're dedicated to bringing you the war on self-doubt. This is for the bold, the fearless, and authentic souls who never back down, and they wear it all on their sleeve. Bomb your boundaries today. Shop bombersandsleeves.com. Well, here he is, the man of the hour, the man of the night, and the man of the next few months coming to a town near you with his best friends in Sunflower Dead, the one and only. I know I'm going to say it wrong. That's just me. Mike Del Pizzo.
That's it. You got it.
Look at that.
Perfect.
Look at that. All right. Very good. Dude, you're slim and trim,
Yeah.
busting your ass, losing a
Yeah.
lot of weight. So that meant when you went back to visit the family recently, there was no Charlie's Burgers going on.
I didn't go to Charlie's. Like usually when we first get off the airplane, we stop at Charlie's, on the way home. No Charlie's. We did our walking every day. We did our exercising. We did our healthy stuff. I mean, we had a little bit of raviolis, P&S raviolis and stuff. Some
Absolutely.
good stuff, but in the right portions, so.
That's what it all truly comes down to, and I learned that lesson the hard way. Because I used to like to overindulge in my raviolis and anything else
Yeah.
that was put in front of me.
Yeah.
But now it's all about portion control, moderation,
and
Yeah.
like not like I don't eat as much sugar. I eat a little bit, but like sugars and then all the processed like chips and all that shit. So, I cut all that stuff out of my diet. Every now and then I'll have a little snack, which is fine, but my body's not overloaded by it. And I dropped 35 pounds ready to rock on this tour.
Dude, that's awesome. As a matter of fact, last night I was talking to your upcoming touring mate, Marty from the Lonely Ones, and he's like doing the same thing. He's all trying to get tour ready and trying to lose some weight. And I was saying about you doing the same thing. And I'll tell you what, like he said, you guys have never met. He said, but he's heard like through the grapevine nothing about good things but about you guys, and he can't wait to tour with you guys.
That's pretty good. So people lie well. They're saying nice things about it. No, I never met Marty because they used to be, their old band was Boba Flex. And of course I know who they are, but we had never crossed paths. And, but when we got the tour, he sent me a text and we talked a little bit. Super cool, nice dude, really humble and, great singer. That band is super talented. So we're looking forward to it. A month on the road with those guys will be rad.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna say what I see all the time, and you've even commented about this. When tour dates get listed and a person's city is not in the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not coming to Philly. You're not coming to Nashville.
Yeah.
And now it's like funny. Like now I check myself every time I see stuff like that posted. Like I don't say it no more because of what you said. You're like, it's out of our control.
Hey, it worked for somebody. You know what? On the one hand, it's like a compliment when someone says, hey, you're not coming here, obviously because they want to see you. But on the other hand, it's not like we intentionally left you out. We just the tour that was booked and we were told to go here. Now, as far as Nashville, though, we did get a tour booked for February of 2022, and Nashville is on the list. So we will be in Nashville in February, as long as the world stays open and all that shit continues on the path it's on.
All right, so let's get into that whole conversation before we get any other stuff. How crazy has it been for you guys? Going through this, did you guys have any shows that you had to cancel? Did you guys were you guys getting ready to do new music at that point? So you were kind of okay, like.
You know what? We had just gotten home last March. I think around March 8th or March 10th of 2020. We had gotten off tour Sons of Texas, and then the following week the world shut down, and we had a whole year's worth of tours booked, so we were ready to keep on working our record Coma, and then the world shut down, and me and Jabu were like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I have a feeling this isn't going to be like a 2-week thing. I just have this is going to be a long thing. And we're like, well, let's just go start writing songs. There's no pressure. It's not like we have to rush. And then all of a sudden, 4 months later, we had an entire record written. We wrote these demos that turned into a record, and it was like cool. So it was unexpected. We needed to write a record, but it wasn't like there was pressure. And then it just was unexpected, and it kind of worked out for us. I hate to say that such a terrible time and history worked out for us, but it did. It gave us the time to just focus. Luckily, we didn't financially get crushed by it. We were actually able to kind of recover a little bit from, doing the band for so long, and, catch up on some previous debt. And we made it out alive so far. I actually did get COVID, but
Okay.
I survived, and, I just followed the doctor's advice and quarantined and did my thing. And luckily, I survived, and hopefully there's no super crazy long-term effects, but so far I seem all right.
Now, how about did your girlfriend get it?
No, she did not get it. So 2 people in my house got it, but she did not get it, which is crazy because we even drank out of the same water bottle before I knew that I had it, and she didn't get it. And I don't know what it is, but she's like superhuman or something.
Well, the same thing happened to me. My girlfriend got it,
Mm-hmm.
and about 3-4 days before she was diagnosed, I mean, we were still sleeping in bed together and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just like the 3rd, 4th day, she's like, I lost taste. She's like, I need to get
Wow.
tested. Yeah, and she got tested. She had it, and her daughter, like as soon as she got tested, and they said you have it, her daughter quarantined herself in her bedroom, and then 8
Yeah.
days later, her daughter got it.
Oh, wow.
And they had no contact. Like,
Yeah, no
I was the one
contact.
going between the 2 of them, and I never got it. And it was like, how did that happen?
I wonder if it's a blood type thing. I don't know, but all I know is she didn't get it, and she should have gotten it. We were super close. So
Right.
but luckily she didn't, and we even got her tested for the antibodies,
Okay.
and she didn't have it in her system, nothing. So she did not have COVID.
Yeah. Such
So
a
thankfully.
weird thing. Yeah, that's
Mm.
awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. So the crazy thing is, the last time we actually did one of these interviews was literally next weekend would be 2 years.
Oh, really?
It was when I was at the Rock and Pod convention. That's the
Okay.
last time we did. It was 2 years ago.
All right.
And yeah, we've gone through COVID and all this other stuff. But the one thing that kept sticking out in my mind as you guys have been going through this whole process with writing the album and then deciding to go back to do it yourself.
Mm.
And I don't know if it was that conversation or maybe a conversation prior to Coma coming out, where you guys talked about, you said flat out, like, if you guys didn't get signed to a label, this was never coming out. You weren't putting it out yourself again. You didn't want to go through that. You
Yeah,
wanted
right,
a label.
right. That's how we felt on Coma. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so no longer with Dave Elvson label.
No, we signed the album as a distribution deal for one record. They
Okay.
handled Coma. They did a great job. Everything that they was in our contract, they did. We had no problems with them whatsoever, and they were great to us, and still are. When I need something, I call the people that worked at the label, and they get me what I need. So it was really good, and they helped us. They got some PR, and it was really cool. It just so happened that when we did this record, which we didn't even know we were going to write, everything just kind of took a form of, well, let's just write a song. Well, okay, let's write another song. Okay, now we have a record that's done. Let's get some artwork done. And how should we put it out? I don't know. It's been going pretty good on our own. Should we even go the route of submitting it to record labels and be told how much we suck again? You know what I'm saying? So our manager just said, look, he's like, why don't you guys just consider putting it out on your own again, and we'll just build it up in like punk rock style. And so we're like, all right, cool. Let's just do that. I mean, why not? I'm kind of, I guess I'm to the point now in life where, especially after this last record and the last 2 records, I'm really comfortable and content with where I am as a musician and as a singer. And I kind of want to do what I want to do. And if it fits into what's cool, which we don't, then great. And if it doesn't fit in, that's fine too. Like, it's not like I don't have a chip on my shoulder anymore. Like, well, we don't fit in. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? No, it's more like, hey, cool. This is what me and Jabu do. And we keep getting better and we're really good at it. So we're just going to put this out there for the people that appreciate it and work our asses off like we always do. And it seemed like the best way to do that was to handle it on our own. Now, we do have some people working with us, like PR people that all that started, and there'll be radio people and all that stuff. But as far as the label and all that stuff, it's coming out through Bloody Bat Records, our own label. And yeah, we're doing it, Fuck.
When it comes down to it, though, do you like doing it that way a little better, just to have that little more control?
Uh, I think Jabu and I always joke like, man, we would love for somebody to take us out and buy us dinner and tell us how great we are for once in our life. You know that old myth. Oh, they took us out to dinner, they got us strippers, whatever. We would love to have that. Buy us pizza, give us a pat on the back, something. Tell us that we're okay. Tell us we're pretty. You know what I'm saying? But it just is like some people. I guess you just have to listen to the universe, follow the signs. You know what I'm saying? And something about it says, not that we're anti-label, because I would love to be on a big label that wanted to put money into it and got behind it. I would be super stoked, but it's just not in the cards for us, it seems. So, but we got lots of music in us and lots of stuff. And I always tell myself, I'll only keep doing this as long as I'm getting better. And I'm getting better still in this. So I'm still doing it.
Okay. So that I got to ask that question then. So it's funny, like as I was sitting getting ready earlier for the interview, going through, and I'm going through the website and going through the old videos and the old, it's time to get weird time.
Yeah.
And I'm like watching the old videos, and I'm like, you can see even from like the old videos to the coma videos. And I remember when I saw you guys, live those couple times, like I was like, damn, the progression.
Right.
In just your stage matter and everything. Take the songs out of it, because the songs, right, my God, whoop, have just gone off the charts, and that's another thing we're going to talk about. But do you recognize that as well? Do you, like, when you look at those old videos, do you see the change in your guys?
I mean, I definitely see the change, but it's more like with Jabu and I, since we've been writing songs together since we were kids. Like, it's just us constantly turning the dial a couple notches this way or a couple notches that way to kind of keep perfecting our craft, right? I mean, I see the progression. I know where we started on the first record of Sunflower Dead, and then and then when we did the Weird record, we got more polished and we really pushed forward that kind of like, we're having fun type thing, and that was cool. And then on Coma, we got real serious and stripped everything off, the makeup, and stripped everything down and really got musical, more like weighted lyrics and stuff. But I hate to say this, like it'll probably make me sound like an asshole, but I kind of feel like, yeah, there's growth and we're still growing, and that's, honestly, that's what I want to be doing. Mm-hmm. But I kind of feel like we could have done what we're doing now then, and vice versa. Like if I said to you, okay, we're going to put the makeup on and do another Weird style record, it would not be a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's more like, this is where we are. I guess that's the thing I'm most interested in, is being the most honest I could be at the time. So at the time of the Weird record, and that we were being dead honest. That's where we were, I look back on it like, that was fucking rap. Like, we put on makeup and looked like a bunch of clown zombies and toured the world and kicked ass, and people liked it. And it was cool, and then I look back on the Coma record, and even though we only got to tour 3 times on that record cycle, I love that record. I just love the honesty of it, and how raw it is, and how it started to show that Jabu and I have more to offer than just something to look at, like a car wreck that we were, So it's like, and now on our newest record, I think that fully comes to fruition, because, and I think most importantly, people will 100%, the people that actually press play on the record will see how good Jabu is, because we kind of took the reins off. Well, it's just me and him. We took the reins off and said, dude, start showing people how fucking good you are, creatively, musically, what you can play, this and that, and we just kind of we had nobody telling us from the outside, do this, do that. No other band members saying, we got to do this. We didn't have to compromise. And I guess that's why it's better for us to be on our own label, because probably I don't want to compromise with anybody anymore. Maybe that'll change by the next record, but right now I probably don't want to compromise with anyone. Not like a dickhead, like, fuck you, I know it's right. We just feel what we're doing. And to me, that is probably what's missing in music, is everybody's trying to write a hit. They're trying to find a songwriter to write the next thing. Is that nobody's just doing what they feel. And eventually, like, if you had 30 bands that are just doing what they feel, maybe 28 of them are going to suck, but 1 or 2 of them are going to hit the jackpot. And, oh my God, that's the most honest thing we've heard. That's the real thing, as opposed to 30 bands with songwriters, which is a fine route to go to. but it's just not quite as genuine. It's genuine, but not quite as genuine. I'm not ripping on it, but for us, it's just more like it's about finding that truth of who we are. And I think on this new record, not that anybody's heard it yet, but I feel that we nailed it.
I have.
You heard it. I sent it to you today. Yeah.
So, all right. So before I get into the band itself and everything, real quick back to the makeup.
Yeah.
Do you miss the makeup?
I thought it was fun. You know, it was originally my idea. You know, I love the makeup. What I miss about it is it's very easy on stage to get away with doing whatever you want when you have makeup on. Like whatever goofy shit you do seems to work. It's a little different without the makeup, but it doesn't really bother me because I can go either way. I don't miss putting it on. I don't miss having it stuck in my ears and all that stuff. But it was fun. I loved it. One of the reasons we took it off was initially when we started the band, I wanted the makeup to be more, I really wanted to look like I was from the movie 30 Days of Night. If you ever saw that movie, it's a graphic novel and then it was turned into this horror movie. Okay. That's kind of what we originally modeled the look after. And then by the Weird record, we were having so much fun. It kind of became more of like clownish and fun and jokey, which is cool, but it wasn't really my initial vision. So I was like, well, that's when I was like, I don't really want to know if I don't want to be the band that's just they wear makeup and that's it, you know, because I felt Jabu and I had more to offer. So that's why if it wasn't going to be like really like dark and scary, I wanted to just take it off. Yeah. And then just let the music do the talking. And that's kind of where we are. So I don't miss it, but I love it. I don't regret it one bit. You'll never hear me talk bad about it.
It's good stuff. I mean, it's funny, like, again, going back and watching those old videos, it's like, wow, that was cool stuff. It was definitely cool stuff.
It was cool. And it was fun to do. And it was easy to get noticed. You know, a weird looking big dude with no hair walks out with an accordion and a bunch of makeup and spikes on. People stop and stare, whether they're laughing or whatever. But again, that gets you only so much. You know, you have to. I really needed people to see how good Jabu is. I mean, I don't feel he gets enough credit. And I really want that for him. And he's finally getting some credit, and he needs more, in my opinion. And I can say that because it's not him saying it, it's me saying it about him, you know.
I'm going to say it about both of you. Like, I feel you guys are truly like the best unheard band that's been there for 10 years. Like, you guys have put out freaking, 4 albums? Well, about to be 4 albums now.
About to be 4, yeah.
That are just fucking incredible. And like, I said this myself over the years, like, somebody has to hear these guys to give them that break. They need to be heard. And I think if people heard, they'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's funny. We just shot a video for a new single from the record about a month ago. And the director was going, why are you guys not huge? Like, what the hell is the problem? Like, are you drunks? No, we're not. And he goes, do you have substance abuse problems? No, we don't. We don't even have any members in the band anymore that have substance abuse problems. He goes, are you dicks? And it's like, well, I'm sure we are at some point. We've learned like how not to be. We try and be nice to everyone. We have our bad days. He's like, I just don't get it. He goes, you know, he looked at me, he goes, Mike, he goes, you know, when you look at a band, you look at a singer, he's like, you know, he goes, there isn't another one of you out there. He goes, there's only you. Like, you do your own thing. He goes, I don't understand it. I said, well, I can't answer for other people. I don't think it's like a fuck those guys type thing. I just think it's the idea that, you know, Jabu and I, when we grew up in Philly and then even in California, we have never been part of a quote unquote scene musically. Right. We've always been our own thing. Back in the new metal days, you know, when we were in LA, the band we had kind of fit more into a scene, even though we weren't trying to be rap metal. It just made more sense back then. But we've never tried to like follow a trend or be part of a scene or go hang out, or, you know, we don't hang out with the people that do coke and, you know, we're doing lines of coke and we're not, you know, trying to be cool. We're just trying to write music and do our stuff. And I think the fact that we're always kind of a little left to center, not musically, but more like hanging out and who we are, that it just, people just tend to forget about us, or they just go, oh yeah, there's Sunflower Dead. You know, we don't write with songwriters. We don't rely on tons of money to get us where we're going. We're not pushed by a big label. We've never been on a big label. We did 2 records on our own and one record on EMP, which was just distribution. We haven't come from that kind of push. So anything we have earned amazingly, but it's not enough to make people go, apparently, hey, we should give them that break. And I don't hate them for it, because hey, they're trying to survive and make money in a business that's super difficult, right? But I sure would like it if somebody would tell us we're pretty and like push us along. I mean, I would love to be on those big stages. Jabu and I are better on bigger stages. We're actually made for that. The smaller stages actually cramp us. You'll never hear me say I want to play in an intimate venue. It's just not going to come out of my mouth. I want to be on the biggest stage possible. Is it in the cards? I don't know. Again, you need that push. You need that luck. Who knows? Maybe people will start hearing these songs, because not many people have, and it'll finally click with them. I don't know. But I know that we have a killer booking agent, and we have a killer PR team, and a great manager, and a great record, and we're going to go out and put it out and work it. And we got some tours booked, and maybe people will catch on and go, hey, these guys they just keep getting better. And like, there's something for real about them,
Yeah, I mean, like today I was, I listened to the new album, was going back listening to the old stuff, and I used to break your balls constantly on the Coma album about Savior. I would just shoot him messages, Savior, new single, Savior, and I listened to that song again today, and I was just like, that song gives me a feel like when you listen to Pantera, I listen to Pantera, I want to kill somebody. Like I just want, you know what I mean? I listen to Savior, I want to kill somebody. It gives me that same feeling.
That's the point of that song. But you know what? I'll tell you what. I really know, like, I don't know if it's like an agenda, or if it's a thing, or it's just the way things are in 2021. But if you're aggressive, like truly aggressive, not fake aggression, but if you're truly aggressive, like, a lot of people don't want to push that, not in a negative way, because nobody wants the asshole, the bro, the fucking dude that's going to, misogynistic and all that stuff. But we're not any of those things. But if you're truly aggressive, and I'm truly aggressive in my music, like whether I'm singing or we're doing heavy stuff, I'm for real. And it seems to be like a thing that's not pushed anymore, like a Phil Anselmo, like he was truly aggressive, at times too much, but awesome, love him, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it seems to be maybe a little fear of that. I can't say nobody's ever said it to me. I've just noticed that when you look at the crop of bands that are being pushed, and all of them have something to offer, and they're all great, none of them really go for the throat. And I'm not talking about how heavy they are, because there's tons of heavy bands. I'm talking about that, like, whether it's AC/DC or Led Zeppelin or Pantera, Metallica, or death metal, the bands that truly mattered to me were the ones that went for the fucking throat, no matter what they were doing. And I don't see a lot of that. I see a lot of, it's not playing it safe. It's just very flat. Even if it's good, it's just very flat. And it's like, okay, don't ruffle too many feathers. Everybody says they want someone that ruffles feathers, but if you start saying shit that ruffles feathers, you get pushed out. And that's not really where I'm not trying to be that dude just being like, fuck this, fuck that. I'm just trying to have a good time. But I've noticed that, like, real true aggression is kind of pushed back against nowadays. And a song like Savior, which we play live a lot, it has that thing. It just does that fucking, it's aggressive,
Yeah. Well, let's go to the flip side, because something about Sunflower Dead that truly might even surprise people is you're probably one of the most melodic metal bands I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know why? I'll tell you why that is. And if that is a true statement, I'll tell you why it is. It's because we don't write from a standpoint of metal. Jabu he loves metal, but he's actually not a metal guy. You know what I'm saying? I was more of a metal guy growing up. Jabu and I write thematically. We write from, like a classical composer. We write from a point of, we pick a theme and we go with that theme. It's almost like we were listening to some of the new songs, and I looked at Jabu and I said, you think people are going to pick up on some of the Beatles aspects of this record, or you think they're just going to go right over their heads? He's like, it'll probably go right over their heads. It's like, but when not that we're the Beatles, because the Beatles are the greatest ever besides Led Zeppelin, but we're writing from the same point of view of, like, here's a thematic idea, and then we're expanding upon it, not just writing a heavy riff that sounds heavy with whatever cool production technique is in fad, which is a cool way to go too. We don't write that way. We write more from a classic songwriting stance, which is, here's a fucking musical idea, we expanded upon it, and then we still found a way to add some kind of aggression and some kind of melancholy in there, and then that's kind of what we do. So it's not quite metal, but it's not like rock, like that's kind of in fad now. The classic rock revival, all those bands which are killer, we don't really make sense with them, but we're not quite going on tour with who's like super heavy nowadays, Behemoth or something,
Right.
Well, we kind of got a little bit of all of it. It's kind of like, well, I don't know, maybe that's it. Maybe like people are waiting for the thing that we do that truly connects, and then I'll go, yeah, that's finally it. But I feel we've proved that already, but apparently not.
So, all right. With all that being said, I want you to try to like guess what my favorite song, and the song for this now album that I'm gonna have to break your balls about, that I feel should be a single.
Okay, so shit. It's either gonna be "Damn My Eyes" or "Falling Down," probably.
No.
All right. Shit, I have no idea. I'll go with a long shot and say, "Who's Laughing Now?"
Nope.
It can't be Cadaver Sightings.
No.
Okay, cool. I have no. I mean, I don't know. Tell me, which one did you think is the single for you that you'll bust my balls on?
Peace of Mind.
The piano song. Thank you. I always forget about that because we never get to do them live. All right, cool.
I think I think that was the best song on the album.
Awesome. Thank you. Hell yeah. I wrote that song, the beginning of that song, when I was in college and living in Philly in my parents' house when I was about 19. Just the beginning part and the vocal melody, and then Jabu and I, kind of rewrote it for this record. But yeah, Peace of Mind. All right, cool. We were able to bring back the piano and the accordion on this record because we didn't have people in the band going, "Don't do that," And yeah, hell yeah, Peace of Mind. That's a good fucking song that I think.
Great song.
I think I'm hoping we get to play live, and yeah, fucking right on. See, the exact opposite of Savior. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like a heavy one. It's the exact opposite. I did a contest where we're selling this new merch, and I said the next 5 people that order, I'll send the album to her. Actually, I did a contest where I asked fans to pick which cover song we did on the new record, and somebody picked it. So I sent them the whole record. They had 30 minutes to listen to the whole record, and then I canceled the link. You know what I'm saying? I have control over it.
Okay.
So that's what they said too. They're like, "Peace of Mind is my favorite song," and I was like, "Wow, really? All right, cool, fucking right on."
That's awesome. Well, okay. Before we talk about the single, as I was listening to it, I'm hearing a song. I'm like, I think this is a cover song.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive it's a cover song. I could picture it, but I couldn't picture it, and I had to Google, and I'm like, oh my god, freaking In Excess.
Yeah, In Excess, Never Tear Us Apart. But
yeah,
I completely rewrote it. Like I said, Jabu was like, "Let's do this song," because it's something we had talked about back when we were touring the first record with the guys.
Oh wow.
And then I was like, "You want to do a cover song on this album?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's do that In Excess song." I was like, "Yeah, but that's like a really like major key, romantic, kind of happy." I love the song because I love In Excess, but I was like, "All right, well, if we're gonna do it, I'm gonna rewrite it in a minor key and completely redo it front to back." And I think it's fucking the shit, personally, because it's so dark and sexy.
It is
heavy, but I'm almost wondering if because I played it to some people and they were like, that didn't know In Excess. They're like, "I love this song," but they had no idea it was a cover because they never even heard the original.
Wow.
So like, it's almost like we completely fucking rewrote it. So
yeah, totally. Like until the chorus comes on, that's when I started I'm like, wait a minute, this is a cover tune.
But we did. I mean, we did a cover tune, our own, just like with Every Breath You Take, but we just made this one. We rewrote this one completely again. Just that we're not good at learning other people's songs. We're too lazy. So if we're gonna do it, we have to rewrite it.
So the first single is "Damn My Eyes," which you guys already shot the video for.
No, that's actually not coming out till the day the record comes out.
Oh, okay.
So we shot a video for that song, right?
Okay.
But we're actually there's going to be 4 other songs that come out before that. So
Shit.
so we're not doing the typical like release a song like 2 singles on the record cycle with videos and go to radio. We're not doing that. We are releasing songs like every month up until the record, not the whole record, but we're releasing 5 songs until the record comes out on March 4th, 2022. That's the release date for the record.
Oh shit. So, oh my God.
So we're doing a lot because we're independent, because we're running it ourselves and we have so much touring. We're going to start on August 6th, the first song from the album. I hate to call it a single because people think that's the song you're trying to go to radio with and all that. That's not what we're doing. The first song we want people to hear is the Underneath because it really shows Jabu. And we have a visualizer video coming out that's super bitchin' that our friend Rob Cisneros did. And he made the album cover come to life. It's fucking 3D. It looks so cool. That comes out. The single comes out on Spotify and all the digital shit. And then that's the day the record comes out for pre-sale. All right. It's going to be on CD, cassette, digitally, vinyl, all the bundles. But we're doing a really long pre-sale campaign because we are so small and so independent that the longer it is for us, the better that I can control it as opposed to doing it for like 30 days and then me rushing to do all this shit.
Right.
Really long pre-sale. But in that time, you're getting 5 singles and 5 videos before the record hits. Okay. So there's going to be a couple lyric videos, a couple visualizer videos, a full video for Damn My Eyes, which comes out the day the record comes out. All right. So it's going to be this whole build up. And then after that, there's going to be more videos coming. We have a behind the scenes of the video shoot for Damn My Eyes. And then we're going to shoot a couple more videos and more visualizers. So there's going to be a lot of content. But yeah, everything's going to be very slow because we're in no rush. I mean, it's not like I need to get the record out tomorrow. I know some fans want it, but I have to basically make it count for us. It has to, work to our advantage. And I have to do it in a way that I can facilitate it because like, if I get 1,000 orders of this record, I have to sit there and mail them all, and it's just me and Jabu, it's not like I have a label or the team to do it. I have to do it, which I want to do it, but I need time to do it.
Plus, also too, like I think it might have been Marty last night from the Lonely Ones said this, or an interview I did recently. Like to get like vinyl done is like a 7-8 month backup.
I ordered the vinyl for this record. I already have the CDs and I already have the cassettes. Right, they're up in my room. I ordered the vinyl like 3 months ago, and I won't have it until February at the earliest. Wow. Like the week before I have to send it out. And that's if it comes in on time. Like vinyl was literally because nobody was ordering stuff. And then all of a sudden tours popped up and then everybody put their orders in and all the presses were like, okay, I had to talk to 4 different people just to find someone to press it because they're like, we can't take any more orders.
Wow.
So it's really crazy to get vinyl. That'll all turn around, obviously. But yeah. So I'm hoping that vinyl comes in by the time, the release date. It's supposed to, but that's not something I have control over. I mean, I ordered it so far, almost a year in advance.
Holy crap. That's crazy. So
that's another reason why it's taking so long. Like I need that time to get it. I don't want to do a pre-sale in August and put the record out in September and you're not getting vinyl till March,
Right.
Yeah.
Now, how about the decision to do cassettes?
It was just a joke. It was like everything we do is just like a funny thing. And I saw bands were doing it and I put out a post that said, would anybody like a cassette of this new record? And a bunch of people were like, I'd totally get that. And I was like, fuck it. I'll order 100 of them. And if they sell, they sell, and then we can move 100 cassettes and it's a collector's thing. And why not, And when I got the box and I opened it up, I was like, this is the craziest shit ever. It takes me back to the 90s. I was like, a cassette, right? But so many people seem interested in it. So I was like, well, there'll be 100 of them and they'll be $15 each and we'll sign them for you. And that's it. As long as you don't even have to play it, it's a collector's item.
That's funny.
Yeah. But it's really just a joke, really, to be honest.
So the album is called March of the Leper.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from? What was the decision behind that?
Probably it came from the idea that Jabu and I truly do really feel like outcasts in the rock world because I know where we stand in the pyramid of the rock world. Like on the national level, we're at the bottom. Like we're on the national level, but we're at the bottom. So, and that's fine. That's just the way it is, but when you get asked over and over again, like you asked me, why aren't you guys bigger? Why haven't you gotten the breaks? Like what's going on? Like you start to feel like, man, I guess we are just fucking lepers. Like, it's just not with a chip on my shoulder. More just like, well, I guess it's just that's the path we're gonna walk, And actually, a guy that works in kind of the radio world 2 years ago, he's like, why don't you guys just say fuck everybody and just not fuck everyone, like fuck you, but like just you are the outcast. Like for some reason, that's just like your guys' thing. And I was like, I was looking for a title that summed up the album, and I was like, ooh, I like Leper, but I wanted something that kind of represented like the passion of the Christ when Jesus was walking, carrying his cross to be crucified. Not that we're religious, but it's just where I got it. And they were whipping him and throwing stuff at him and beating him and, bruising him and bloodying him. And then he got crucified. And I was like, that's kind of like the path we're on. Like we take all this abuse, like every other band, and we're busting our ass and we get shit upon. Like I have so many emails from people in the industry saying horrible things to me. Like not nice things about our songs and not nice, like, then they don't know that I read them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like, wow, man, but it's like, that's the way it goes. When you're in art, people have ego, they're pushing their bands, that's fine. I don't hold it against anyone. Trust me, in my life, I've said many terrible things about people and shit. So that's the way it is. But I just kind of was like, I think we're just going to embrace this kind of like outcast thing, and not with a negative chip on our shoulder way, but just, this is who we are, and we don't fucking care anymore. We're cool with it. We're happy, and we're actually happier. So we're going to be the Lepers. But on the album cover, I literally wrote out what I wanted on the album cover. Like I made a list, and then I sent that list to the guy that did the weird album cover, the shirt you wear. And I told him exactly what I wanted, and that's what he sent back. This Marshall Leper, but in the album cover, instead of like where Jesus was being, he's walking to his crucifixion, this leper is actually walking towards the sun on the album cover, and he's like walking towards happiness. Like people are yelling at him, they're throwing sticks at him, there's dead sunflowers behind him on the album cover. There's all kinds of symbolism from our songs in the album cover, but this leper is walking towards the sunshine, to his freedom. And that's kind of like what I feel we either want to do or that what we're doing. We're walking towards the sun, so it's kind of positive.
That's awesome. So let's ask this question.
Yeah.
The band.
Yeah. Who's in the band?
Yeah, it's you and Jabu.
Yeah.
But like
which it always has been. So
yes.
Just to give everyone an understanding of the way Sunflower Dead works. Okay, so when we started, it was Jabu and I, right? Mm-hmm. And then we had our friend, the initial bass player of the band, Louis Gascon, who's on the first record. Okay. He only did one tour with us. Still a great friend of ours. And then we got Jamie Tessera, who was in the band Droid. He was our second guitar player. And then really, when Louis left, the band was me, Jabu, and Jamie. It was like 3 people running it. We started the business. We funded it. Jamie put a whole bunch of money into it, a whole bunch of passion, time, effort. We all did this together, right? And then as it got to the Coma record, and Jamie had a child that's like was around 11 or 12, and he kind of didn't want to miss his teenage years by being on tour. He decided to bow out. It's all positive. There's no like bad blood there. So the business just reverted to Jabu and I. What we didn't want to do from that point on was to present some kind of front, like, here's our new members again. These are the 5 guys or 4 guys. Now it's 5 guys now, but these are the guys that are Sunflower Dead. Where in reality, even though we've had, like on the Weird record, we had 5 members, there was 3 people that kind of ran the show. Right. And then on Coma, it became 2 people that ran the show. So I kind of didn't want to like, and it's not an ego thing, like we run the show. It's more like, I didn't want to pretend like, oh, we're a band of 5 dudes that created this shit. This new record is Jabu and I, and that's it. Nobody else. Okay. It's just us. All right. And so back in October, I started hiring musicians to tour with us, that are all really good guys. Some we've toured in the past, some we haven't, and they're all really good guys. So it's like, there's no front here. Now, if the band goes on tour and we gel so well and we like these guys and it becomes a band like 5 dudes for the next record, great. You know, we're totally cool with that. We'll write a record with them. If it doesn't become that, great. It's me and Jabu still. You know, it's always been Jabu and I since we were little kids. So that's totally fine too. You know, I just didn't want to give the impression we're not a 2-piece band, definitely. But I didn't want to give the impression like, here's our new members. They were on the record. You know, they're Sunflower Dead. That's just not the case. So I want people to know that. And also, to be honest, to put a little more spotlight on Jabu, because like I said, I feel he's been slighted on all the records, you know, and now you're only looking at our 2 stupid faces in the pictures, so you have to look at one of us.
Well, that's the thing I was really curious about too, is if you guys would be open to having permanent members besides you two.
Totally, but it just like with everything else, it just has to be natural.
Sure,
it has to be like these guys work, you know, because the worst is when you get on the road with people and you made them a member and you made a big deal of it on social media, and then you get out there and either you don't get along or they think you're a dick or they're a dick, and you're just like, this sucks. Now we look like, you know, it's like, oh, we can't keep members. Well, to be honest, we've only really had like 2 other people that were members of Sunflower Dead officially, right? So it's like everybody was always a touring guy, which is a cool thing. Look, I love the myth of the bands that were created when they were kids. And, you know, 4 or 5 guys and they started this band and they were all right together. They're all equal partners. But the truth is that's not reality in most situations. But it is reality between Jabu and I. That is our reality. We started when we were kids. We've always wrote together. We share everything equally musically. You know what I'm saying? So that is the story. So that's what we're putting out there.
It truly, I mean, like, you know, back in the history of music, 60s, 70s, 80s, even 90s. It was the 4 or 5 members coming up. It's like especially the last 10 years, but last 10 to 20 years, it seems like how many times have bands start to come up and then all of a sudden members are changing, like they start to break it and people are like, wow, like it's not what I expected or wanted. Or
probably another reason why we called it March of the Lepers and I keep calling us Outcasts is because, you know, it's like we've never really had that like 4 or 5 guys that are gung-ho or on the same team. We almost had it on the Weird record. Like that was a good group of guys, but there were some problems with people and it didn't work out for them in the long run. But, you know, it's just, so it's almost like, man, nobody wants to be our friends. So it's like it's just me and Jabu, which is kind of how it is, you know, and I just, I'm not going to lie about it. Like, you know, like we've never kicked anyone out of the band. We've never fired anyone. You know, it's always been amicable. Like everyone that's left, we're friends with. Maybe I'm not friends with all of them, but, you know, but I'm still cordial, you know, and I respect them. I respect the time and effort and passion and finances and connections and everything they put in. But, you know, it's been me and Jabu, and that's just kind of how it is. And we're lucky that all the work that other people have done with us, we can continue and build upon. And I will say this, that just, it might look like the band's getting smaller, but it really hasn't changed because we wrote all the songs in the beginning anyway. Right. And then on the Weird record, we wrote them with the guys in the band, but we still were the main guys, but everybody contributed. On the Coma record, we wrote the songs with Jamie. And then on this record, we wrote the songs. So, and you can see how it's not like, oh, that thing that we had is missing now. The records keep getting better, you know?
Right.
So, and that's like the proof is in the pudding, is that Jabu and I are like, we do what we do. Other people contributed and we learn from them. We're able to use those things we learn from them, but we're still the foundation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice. So, all right. So, you guys actually first show is this coming weekend, right?
Saturday in New Mexico, more like the border of Colorado, the Four Corners up there. And we're going to headline this tiny little rock fest. And it's our first show since the pandemic started and we got off the road, you know, and we're looking forward to it. You know, the guys are all rehearsed. Everybody's super positive, and we're going to drive out to New Mexico this weekend, rock a show, and drive on home. And then we'll be home for 2 weeks. And then we start our tour with the Lonely Ones in the middle of August. And we're looking forward to that. It's not just with them. We're doing headlining shows, and we're doing some shows with Sons of Texas. we're doing some shows with Raw and September Morning, and then we have 4 shows with the band Otherwise at the end of this.
Great band. Love
Yeah,
those
great
guys.
band. So we're all kind of on the same booking agency. So it's like, okay, we'll play with them this night. We'll play with them this night. So it's like 29 shows for us this late summer, early fall tour.
And I saw too, you guys are even doing just you and Jabu an acoustic show.
No, we're not. No, the venue we're playing is called Cafe Acoustic. But it's not. No, it's the whole band's playing, and we're playing electric. So a couple people have thought that because of the name of the venue, but no, it's just the venue's called Cafe Acoustic. It's like it's like on a Tuesday night in maybe that's St. Joseph, Missouri, I think. And it's like a small place, and we're gonna go play there. And no, we're not doing an acoustic thing. We could, but we're not gonna.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I saw too recently you guys put to rest the RV. There's no more RV.
No, we haven't had that since the Weird record, since about 2017. After the last tour we did for the Weird record, we were on tour with Mushroomhead, and we got home off that tour, and then we bought a van. We're like, we're done with that. The person that owned the RV, Jamie, he's no longer in the band, so it was his anyway. But we had already retired it on the road, even when he was still in the band, because it was like, they're not built for touring.
It was I remember it was constantly breaking down.
Yeah, it was such a nightmare. So we'll be in a van, and then the idea is to keep the guarantees going up, have more people come, so we can get into a bandwagon. And if people don't know what that is, it's kind of like a mini tour bus, and but it's not as expensive, and it's like a big diesel flatbed with like a tour bus thing on the back. But it's just pretty cool, a little wobbly, but pretty cool.
Cool. So now, what will be the plans? You said a single a month. This tour goes through pretty much September, right?
Yeah, till like mid-September, and then we come home, and then our PR will be going then, and we will hopefully another tour will come up this year. If not, we're already have one booked for February of 2022, and then by then, with PR and the singles being out and Spotify numbers and all that shit, we'll get more and more opportunities to go out and prove that we deserve to be taken a second, third, fourth look at as a band that's legitimate.
Absolutely. Nice. Mike, I'm excited for you guys.
Thanks, man. I'm excited too. I know I have a lot of work to do.
Let the games begin.
Yeah, they've been going on. It's funny. I did more work in the last year and a half during this pandemic for this band than I think I've ever done. I always worked hard, but to run every little last detail has been like, oh my Lord. So much so that our manager's like, well, why don't you just sign other bands now? Because you literally just did everything that a label would do besides put in, trillions of dollars and, have big political connections in the industry. And we're like, well, we're thinking about it. So we might possibly sign a couple of our friends' bands and put the record out and, help them out with things. Because I've kind of already done that for some bands. Like I've hooked them up with radio reps or got them some tours so they could go out there and do it. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I didn't get anything out of that. Like nobody paid me, God damn it. So we're like, our manager's like, well, why don't you just sign a couple of your friends' bands or some bands that are hungry and you put it out and see what happens, I was like, yeah, maybe.
It's the music business. Might as well just do it.
Yeah, right. I've never wanted to be on that side of the business, though. I respect them. It's a hard business, but it's cutthroat and it's nasty. And, so I have reservations, but, you keep it light. You never know. It could work out pretty cool, at least for some friends that need some hookups.
Absolutely. Nice. Well, dude, February. I'll see you guys in February.
Yeah, man, in Nashville. Yep. I saw the tentative dates, and there's like 3 shows in Tennessee. So Nashville's on the list.
Awesome. You'll have to let me know. Shoot me a message. Let me know which place you're playing at.
Of course.
Awesome. Dude, always a pleasure catching up.
Thanks, brother. Always.
Loving the new album.
Thank you.
Can't wait for the world to hear it. And I mean, the world needs to freaking hear you guys.
Yeah, I think it would be cool, I think it would be cool, but you know what? It's just kind of, it's out of our hands. Like we've done all the work, for this record as far as setting it up. Now we just are ready to tour and do what we got to do. And that part is out of our hands. Like, it's like what they say when preparation and opportunity meet, that's when you like, like, is our opportunity going to come? I don't know, but we're ready for it. I know that.
Absolutely.
We're positive and we're ready for it.
It's about time.
Yeah.
It's deserved. I mean, 10 years now you've been ready for it.
Yeah. I guess it'll be our 10-year anniversary in 2022. August of 2022 will be our 10-year anniversary for this band.
Wow. It's a long time.
A long time, and a pandemic. So 4 records in 10 years with a year and a half that was a pandemic isn't so bad.
Not at all. Not at all. Nice. Well, dude, where should we send everybody to find out more about the band, hear the music?
We're obviously sunflowerdead.com. That's got everything on there. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, obviously, that matters more than anything nowadays to the people that it matters to. YouTube, obviously. And, if you Apple Music, wherever you listen to music, we're everywhere. So it's not hard to find our stuff. Just Google Sunflower Dead and our ugly mugs come up and there's the music. It's super easy to find. I laugh when people are like, I didn't even know you were playing, or how do I find it out? I'm like, literally, like, it's everywhere. Like, it's so easy to find anything nowadays. Like, I can find out what you ate yesterday if I wanted to, probably. So
exactly,
it's all out there, and we post about it constantly. So but the typical social media stuff, and I respond to everything still as long as I can, as long as it's not overwhelming. I'll respond to people, and I try and be as cool as possible. And then, we're always working it.
Yeah, I just learned last night I could pop messages on screen. So I'll pop a message from one of your guys' favorite fans.
Okay. Oh, from Nancy. What did she say?
Kick some ass out there.
We are definitely gone. I'm telling you, we got a really good bunch of dudes with us, and they're playing really well. And we're doing an awesome selection of songs from all 4 records on this upcoming tour. So
how about that? Now that there's going to be 4 records now, is it getting harder to choose?
No, because people tell you what they like. We're definitely not the kind of guys that like feel we have to play certain songs that are generally like obscure from the record. It's like people tell you by what they're streaming and what they're listening to, what they want to hear, and so it's pretty obvious which songs they want to hear live. And so the only thing we haven't been able to do is do the piano songs. So that's the one thing I want to get going. But besides that, we know which songs people want to hear, and as far as the new album, they don't know, but we're going to play two new songs on the upcoming tour while we're out.
Well, you have till February to get Peace of Mind in the set for Nashville.
All right, I'm actually working on how I can do that on a small stage. Instead of having a piano, have like a keyboard piano on like a crazy weird stand, and fucking get that across. But I'm down.
Nice. And Savior, better play Savior.
Yeah, we're doing Savior on this tour. We've been doing that a lot. I think Savior will last probably till the new year, because actually it's not on the record, but since on the last 2 tours we did for Coma, we only went out with Jabu, one guitar player. So I started doing certain songs. I started playing the accordion in it for certain things, like Savior. I started adding the accordion in. And now that we have 2 guitar players again, I'm keeping the accordion in Savior because It's just cool. So, but when the new record comes out, there's a bunch of accordion on it. So we're going to be doing some of those songs. So I don't know if Savior will be there all the time, but we certainly played it a lot.
Awesome. Well, I might just happen to remind you.
Yeah, that's cool.
You never know.
Yeah, that's all good. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Dude, always a pleasure, man. Proud of you guys. You guys always do the Philly area proud. And can't wait to see you guys next year, man.
Awesome, brother. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Always. Take care.
You too.
Bye.